You probably remember Piggy, one of the most well-known horror games on Roblox through 2020 to 2022. The game was fairly simple with the objective of escaping from a Peppa Pig-styled killer while also collecting resources to escape with your team. But do you remember the other Piggies? What I'm talking about are the clones. Many of these games fell under the escape genre. The objective of all these games were the same as Piggy: avoid a monster, find tools, and escape from a random map players vote for. But these games were in turn a puppet state. Anything that happened to Piggy happened to these clones. Once Piggy started gradually falling off because of the complexity of Book 2, so did these. So today, I will be exploring 5 of the biggest Piggy clones. The first Piggy clone most people recognize is Bacon. This game was exactly like Piggy. The only differences were the amount of skins. The most memorable part of this game is how many YouTuber skins there were. And I mean a lot of YouTuber skins. If you have at least 500,000 subscribers and you played the game, you were getting a skin. The game peaked at 50,000 concurrent users and now averages around 100 players. The main reason of the fall off was mainly just because of the repetitiveness and the lack of updates. So like any clone, this game soon died. The next very well-known game back in 2022 was Puppet. This game was fairly similar to Piggy. The main difference was that the characters were based off the popular cartoon Sesame Street. After a couple months, however, this game had died the same fate as Bacon. I'm also pretty sure they got DMCA'd and had to return to very simplistic versions of the Sesame Street crew. The game had stopped receiving updates as of today and hasn't been updated in years. The same fate happened to Minitoon, the creator of Piggy, but he had done the proper precautions and had changed everything to keep the game alive. The next game is what I would say is the most popular Piggy clone, being Kitty. It was very simple. If you were a survivor, you would be a mouse trying to escape from the killer, also known as the cat. The game was, by most players, the best Piggy clone, with it being very unique and a little different than the other ones. This is the most alive games out of the ones I talk about today, averaging around 500 players. Its peak was 75,000 players, so this was still a major drop. This game still gets frequent updates, but had stopped after Chapter 15, the end, marking its final map and quickly got repetitive. The amount of skins added helped the game out in the long run, but this couldn't save it forever. Most YouTubers who played this had stopped after Chapter 15. This game is very similar to Bacon, a game we've already covered. You've probably already guessed it, but if you haven't, this game is called Guesty. The Bacon and Guest avatars were huge in the community, so I can see why they kinda just used those instead. It was very clever and many YouTubers have played it. This was one of the games that had died way faster than the other ones, however, averaging around 20 players daily to this day, with it being its highest around 6,000. This obviously wasn't the biggest, but it's one a lot of people forget about. It had a quick and forgettable death, sadly. This last one is one that actually had gotten deleted off of the face of the platform. The game was called Ronald. The whole point of the game was to escape from an evil clown named Ronald. This obviously ticked off the people at McDonald's, and they shut it down in no time. This game, however, was huge, making its way into RB Battles, one of the biggest Roblox events made by actual users, Russo, Sabrina, and DJ. Popular YouTubers like FGTV even made a song on this, which is pretty funny. The game had also gotten hacked, but I have no information on that. A lot of these games have little to no players anymore, but they once were some of the biggest on the front page. All of these games fell under the fall of Piggy, lacking updates, lore, and replayability. They soon fell to the bottom of the pit. If you enjoyed this little trip down memory lane, you could sub, or like, or not. You could just watch the video, which is also cool. Anyway, goodbye. Hope you enjoyed.